Hey, what's up, guys? We are back at again for the Clash Royale Berserker Clash Challenge. And I'm ready to show you guys the best decks and give you a breakdown on the event, so when you jump into it, you will be able to dominate. This is one of those events that is actually really fun. Out of all the events that I've been playing recently in Clash, I haven't really been enjoying many of them. So it's refreshing to see something that requires a little bit of strategy, and if you have the right deck, you will destroy people. So this is what I'm going to be playing as the first deck. We have 3 different decks to play. So if you don't like this, stick around because there's going to be another option for you. If you like Goblin Giant and Pekka, there's going to be a deck for that. Maybe you like spamming for an even higher skill deck for a lot of fun and just outplaying opponents. I have a deck there too. This is probably going to be the easiest deck for people to play. And if you learn from what I'm telling you guys and you just copy the strategy, you'll win a lot of games. So essentially, when the cards get half health, they get raged up. So that means if you're having a building like Goblin Hut and Furnace, your units are going to be spawning more. You get more spawns. And also, if you have an elixir collector, you produce more elixir. So you can see where I'm going with this. Cards that activate the rage effect early by getting half health early, really broken. So if your opponent's tower targets a spear goblin, it doesn't one-shot a spear goblin. So your spear goblin's going to stay alive longer. Therefore, you know, from a spawner, your goblins from the Goblin Hut are going to do more. Also, a really broken card in this challenge is Cannon Cart. It is so stupidly unfair. So if you can go in for a Cannon Cart and it takes a shot from a Pekka, that thing's raged up for the rest of the match. And not only that, but the cannon is raged up afterwards. So it's not really half health because Cannon Cart at half health from its first form has a second form. So it's really disgustingly strong. I think the same thing probably applies for Elixir Golem, but I decide not to play Elixir Golem in this challenge. You could maybe like swap out Elixir Golem in previous deck that, or sorry, in a future deck that I'll show. But essentially, this deck, you are going to be spamming spawners and mirroring up Cannon Carts because Cannon Cart is unbelievably broken in this challenge. And if you spam spawners enough, you're going to win a lot of games. So it's fun. You can really have a lot of messing around in this challenge and spam Dark Goblins as well because your opponents will be arrowing on the spawners. But yeah, let's just show you guys what's up. I'm going to copy this deck, and there are 2 other decks to showcase. So do not get upset if you can't play this deck. This deck is easy to play, and you should be able to get 10 wins with it. But if you can't, there will be other decks for your play style. And also, by the way, you want to be running Dagger Duchess with this. I don't know why that didn't copy correctly, but yeah, Dagger Duchess is ideal. Yeah, let's get right down into business and show you what's up. This deck is cracked, my guy. It is cracked. We also wake up at, 2 a.m., 1 a.m. to do these challenges for you. So if you enjoy this, make sure to leave a like on the video. It goes a long way and allows me to continuously pump out these challenge videos with the best decks to play. And by the way, I'm a top 1,000 player. I practice these decks, I take a look at them, and I discover what the strongest cards are in the meta before I show them to you. So it's just, a different thing that you probably won't get in other channels. They probably won't do it at 2 a.m. in the morning. So if you do appreciate that, definitely support me. As you can see, the Dark Goblin at half HP, look at the damage I got. That's insane. Like, that's just not fair, you know? So these opponents will probably be playing Pekka and Goblin Giant and then like Rune Giant because that's what meta is. So usually what people do is they see the top decks at the leaderboard and they're like, oh, the best deck is Goblin Giant Pekka. So I'm going to play that in the challenge, and then they don't adapt and then they just lose. So this is interesting to see that. I didn't expect him to do that at all. So we can stack up 2 Cannon Carts here, and this is going to be fun because if he kills one of them or damages down a little bit, you will see how valuable this Cannon Cart will be. So now it's raged up, and it's just going to do an amazing amount of damage. Also, if you're able to go in for wall breakers, and they take a little bit of damage, they just fly towards the tower. So yeah, that thing is reaching probably. Oh, it didn't somehow, but usually it does. The Cannon Cart will reach the tower now, and it's raged up, so it does 1 million damage. So I'm sure you guys witness right now the importance of running good cards. If you jump into the challenge and you don't have me telling you what cards are good, you might find out the hard way if you just jump into the challenge and run a bad deck. And you know, that's what happens a lot of times for a lot of people. So don't be that guy. Subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned for these videos, and you'll win a lot more games in the challenges. I also heard your guys' feedback. In the last challenge, it was a Rune Giant deck. And unfortunately, Rune Giant is like a pretty complicated card. So a lot of people were just struggling with it. They're like, hey, Jake, I want you to build like the easiest deck possible. Really want you to dumb it down for me. So this is really the easiest deck possible. This is dumbed down to the maximum. You are actually just mirroring up Cannon Carts, spamming spawners, and dropping wall breakers when you get the chance of Dark Goblins, and you will win. Like, I'm telling you straight up, you do not have to think with this deck. And if you are struggling with it, make sure that you are mirroring up the right cards and dropping Cannon Carts and not trying to just win with spawners. A lot of times you want to make sure that you don't stack up too much stuff together if your opponent has arrows or log. you really want to look introspectively of why you lost the game, because you probably shouldn't be losing with this deck. There really isn't that much that's scary. I mean, if they stack up like a Pekka push, you probably want to go other side with your wall breakers. Starting the game off with a Goblin Hut is fine. The reason that we're running Dagger Duchess and not the Pancake Tower is because we can't level up our buildings, and you can't level up, you know, cards that are just going to die in one shot like wall breakers. It just doesn't make sense to level them up. So just put that in perspective and realize like what cards are important and what ones aren't. And because you have Dagger Duchess, you can defend more minimalistically and not spend that much elixir, which is really nice. Okay, so he's got a wizard. I'm not going to cycle a furnace. If you see a wizard or a splash damage card in the back, you make sure that you cycle your cannon cart. And then I don't want to mirror up this cannon cart yet because I don't know if he's going to have Pekka. I don't know if he's going to have Mega Knight. Yes, cannon cart is really good to mirror up, but it's only great if you know what your opponent's deck is. So at this point, I'm just going to reset, cycle my furnace in the back, wait for my opponent to make a play, and then capitalize on that and kill him. So it can give you guys a standard breakdown of the deck. It's like, you know, I'm not going to talk about personal life stories right now. That was another bit of feedback on these challenges. Like, sometimes I think the thing is a little bit easy, and then I just, like, do personal stories and ramble. Yeah, we're going to go for Goblin Hut here. And I think we're chilling. I think this is a really good spot. As you guys can see, the Spear Goblins take one shot, and then they get enhanced and raged up, so that's really nice. I think Arrows is nice in this deck because Firecrackers and Dark Goblins are really annoying. I would say that Log and the other decks that I'm going to be showing is a little bit better because you won't have to worry about Firecrackers being that big of a problem. But in this deck specifically, nice. Do you have Earthquake or is it just Poison? I don't think it matters. We can go in for a Cannon Cart Fiasco here. This is going to be crazy. I don't know what he does. I actually don't think it's possible for him to kill these very effectively. So we're going to go Dark Goblin because if he zaps, obviously, it's just pretty funny. If he arrows us, that's also a little bit annoying, but it worked for him. I'm going to go Wall Breakers because the Cannon Cart's still alive and it's going to protect whatever he counters this with, if it's a unit. Oh, he doesn't want to drop a unit in the Cannon Cart. Okay, that makes sense. I understand that. So if the Cannon Cart stays alive, it's just... like, it stayed alive forever. It is really taking its sweet time to decay. I do not think there is a better card in this challenge than Cannon Cart. So in the regular game mode right now, Evolve Pekka, Goblin Giant, those type of decks are really broken. But they're not necessarily like... this is not Clash Royale. This is not the regular game mode. This is a warped version of the game that people have to adjust to. So just keep that in mind. He's going to arrows because he has to kill this Dark Goblin. Yeah, he just missed his arrows. Cannon Cart's raged up. He just loses the game, right? Like, the Cannon Cart is just so broken. Literally just mirroring it up will win you games. I'm not joking. It is unbelievably broken. Look at the damage that you get. You don't even need the freaking Rune Giant. You don't even need the Rune Giant. And then you get value. So yeah, super, super easy stuff. I'll play one more game with this deck, then we'll switch to another one, and then we'll probably go back to this deck at the end. But yeah, I'm telling you guys right now, y'all will conquer this challenge with this deck, and it will not be difficult at all. Oh man, yeah. Of course, if you guys have any tips for me for like improving these streams or things that you want to see, you let me know. I did a lot of research on these decks. I played this challenge a ton, and I came up with the easiest strategies. But if you have other ways of me improving this for you guys, you let me know. All right. Look at my chemistry teacher. Yo, maybe I have some chemistry with him. Maybe, you know, I merged with him. I'm not sure, dude. Maybe he's my long lost brother. So we're going to go in for a Cannon Cart here, and we're going to be able to kill that. It's really nice to be able to go for a Furnace to augment the Cannon Cart. So you guys will see the Cannon Cart's going to probably get around half HP here, and then it's just going to get raged up, and it locks on tower. Immediately valuable. Immediately unbelievably valuable. So it's nice to use cards like that because the opponent will not know what to do. We can go Dark Goblin here, and it's fun because Furnace and Spawners are just so sucky in regular Clash Royale games. But this is not a Clash Royale match, my guy. And if that rages up and locks onto the tower, look at that. So he's just using bad cards. He's using bad quality cards that he doesn't know. You know what? Subscribe to our channel. He's subscribing to a different channel. Isn't ours. You know, you get finessed, my guy. Alright, we're going to go in for a Furnace here, and this is not even going to be difficult. We can just spam Spawners and have a good time, or drop a Dark Goblin here. This looks like a pretty easy victory for me. I'm able to go Dark Goblin on Dark Goblin action. His is going to get raged up, so we trade evenly. Actually gets another hit on my tower. Didn't expect that to happen, but it's still all good out here. The great thing about this deck is you can play passive and reset. You don't have to worry too much. Like, you can just drop a Goblin Hut, be like, oh, guess it's your turn, sir. I guess it's your turn to spam into me. If you don't really know what to do and you're like worried about, oh man, I have to think about my plays, just like reset, defend, cycle Cannon Carts, and you're generally going to get good trades. Okay, also against Goblin Barrels, usually you don't want to use arrows because if they're having a whole bunch of other bait cards, you kind of want to, you know, save the arrows for the bait cards, by the way. I'm sure you guys noticed that. But yeah, look, the Goblin Hut's raged up, so going to be pretty good here. It's nice to have that value. Also, he can't really go Goblin Gang because it's just not going to do so hot for him. We're going to go in for wall breakers here, so we stop the Dark Goblin from ruining my day. And I think the wall breaker should have gotten like half HP, but it didn't, so that sucks. It's still fine. We're going to go for our own Dark Goblin here and get ready for him to go in for a annoying Goblin Barrel. This time we are going to arrows. I usually wouldn't want to, but it is a precaution that has to happen. Dark Goblin's raged up, so it's going to force the log. Really cool. I do think this guy's quite good at the game. Based off of what I've seen, I think his mechanics are good. I think he's definitely a good player, but we're still in a great spot, so I'm not going to be too pressed about this. I should be able to go in for a cannon cart and then mirror up another cannon cart and then go evolve wall breakers and win the game. So that's the game plan here, guys. We'll see if it works out, but I should have it work, to be honest. I don't think we have too many worries out here. Just good vibes and good games, you know? You feel me, my dudes? That's what's up. We're going to go Dark Goblin as well. We're going to get ready to snipe his princess with an arrows. And he's probably going to go in for a Goblin Gang that we might even be able to hit with his arrows as well. I think he's going to drop... Yep, he dropped the Goblin Gang, and he loses the game. Really easy stuff. I don't know what to say. It's very easy to predict. And when you force your opponent into bad plays, they're just forced out of the match. So I'm going to use Goblin Gang counter or Goblin Girl counter with guards on both sides. So it's safe to say that Goblin Barrel is surrounded and pounded by guards. We successfully guarded our tower with 6 guards on all sides. So yeah, a really easy win. I do think that guy was good. I'll show you guys his rank. I think he's Ultimate Champion. Probably. Yeah, he was an Ultimate Champion player. I knew it. So yeah, we were able to beat an Ultimate Champion player early on. A lot of these people early on will be good because if you're playing at the very start of the challenge, then like the people that win games obviously have beaten other players. So if you're starting the challenge as soon as it starts, you're probably going to be better than the other people. So if you're not good at the challenge, or maybe like you want some time to digest things, practice it out in the event tab. Check out the decks in the Berserker Clash here, play them here, and then figure out if you're good with the deck. And if you're not, then you got to practice more. Don't jump into the challenge first if you can't win games with the deck, please. All right, so the next deck that we're going to be showcasing is going to be a pretty easy deck as well. This is going to be the more standard Pekka Goblin Giant. So Pekka is really good in this challenge for one reason. It gets half HP, it moves faster, and ooh, I just hopefully didn't end the stream. That would suck. Okay, I mashed my keyboard with my face, or basically, I'm so stupid. You hit it with my hand, but you know, I'm a moron sometimes. Anyway, Pekka's really good, gets half HP, starts attacking faster, moves like a menace, and kills everything. So yeah, Pekka's really good. You could replace the Hunter for a Cannon Cart if you wanted. I think it might be better. I don't think Hunter is as good as Cannon Cart here, but Cannon Cart is not as good with Rune Giant, so it's tough to say. I personally probably would use Hunter just because of preference, and people are so used to it. But you could use Hunter, you could use Cannon Cart, you could use Skeletons, you could use Guards. All these are options. Lightning is so you don't lose to Electro Dragon, because, I mean, look at the deck. You're going to lose to Electro Dragon if you don't have Lightning. Also, if people have Elixir Collector, it's nice to have Lightning. Lightning's just a good card to have, so we'll be jumping into business here. It's pretty much like the Goblin Giant decks that you see everywhere. It's pretty easy to play. You cycle your Pekkas and your Goblin Giants. You drop a Rune Giant in front of that. The Rune Giant is important to cycle in front because if you drop it in the back, then, you know, you're not really getting the value. You don't care if the Rune Giant dies or not. If the Rune Giant dies, you're in a good spot because guess what? Brain Rot. Yeah, the Rune Giant is actually a card that you would like to die. The reason why you want it to die is if it dies, it doesn't matter. It still has the buff. So it is just how it works, you know? Also, I think we're okay here. I'm not 100% sure, but we will see. We have a Goblin Giant, and we also have an Inferno Dragon, which is probably going to be tough for him to defend. We'll see if the Inferno Dragon takes the tower. It should. Yeah, that wasn't even close. So. The only issue here is, am I able to 3-crown? Probably not. And he does have... Ooh, okay, he messed up a little bit. All right, we're going to go Rune Giant, pull the Pekka. I think that's probably optimal, so then we can go in for a Goblin Giant afterward, and then win the game with that, maybe. Or we could Pekka on his Pekka. I think that's also A-okay. I'm a goofy goober, aren't I? I'm a little bit of a goofy goober. So I'm going to let this happen, and I'm just going to Lightning and try 3-crown with this Pekka. I don't think he's able to stop this. We'll see. We should not get 3-crown by the Pekka. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe we have to log and get 3-crown. That sucks. So yeah, I do think this deck is a little bit less consistent than the other one, for sure. But I should have lost that game. That is a skill issue, for sure. I thought that the Inferno Dragon would do a little bit better against the balloon and not let it do that much damage to my 3-crown, but I forgot that, you know, the card gets raged when it's low HP, so then if it takes a tower, it's just going to run away from the Inferno Dragon. So Not ideal, not ideal. It is what it is. We live, we learn, we bounce on the next one. So yeah, this deck is definitely good for the challenge. Sometimes you'll get weird interactions like that. That is just the inconsistency of running a deck that doesn't really have a building or like defensive features. So, you know, you could play this deck if you want. It still works pretty well. And it is like the standard strategy of, oh, Pekka, Goblin Giant, Rune Giant. So like if you match on other people, your deck is going to be good. Like this is a win. This is a W. We will not lose a matchup where we have a mirror matchup and we have, you know, Hunter and Inferno Dragon. You're able to kill all the other Pekka players and then look at the Hunter. It's gonna do mad work. So we're in a really, really good spot. We can go guards here and then distract his Pekka. And then if you look at our spot, we have a Pekka, elixir advantage. We have Goblin Giant, which are all cards that we really want. So overall, like in this situation, you also want to be running Chef as well. So I cooked myself a little bit too much in the other game, but it would be. Why all the buildings? Buildings are really good in this challenge if you are running spawners. Buildings are just also a nice distraction. It's a nice safety net. If you don't have a building in your deck, a lot of times you're kind of like up to the mercy of, oh, what win condition is my opponent going to throw at me? And will they kill me with their win condition? This is the slightly scary position for you. Also, one of the reasons that Goblin Giant's so good in this is it gets raged up at half HP, and half HP is where you want to be. If your card is at half HP, then what happens is you will get a rage, and you also get the benefit from the Goblin Giant. So it's like a really integral point for the card, right? So if you're getting double benefits at a certain threshold, you kind of want to reach that threshold. So yeah, it's a little bit broken, a little bit broken. Have you ever thought about visiting New Zealand? I mean, I'm down. I just, I haven't had the ability to travel as much as I've wanted. I went to different places a lot of times, but I have kind of went to the same spot more than I want. Like, I've been to Finland way too many times, is what I'm trying to say. Do we lose, or are we good? So also, the reason we have log in this deck is because the goblins from the Goblin Giant are pretty ubiquitous, no matter where. Like, you just see it everywhere, pretty much, is what I'm trying to say. It's definitely a Clash Royale special that you'll see very, very frequently. It is a true Clash Royale special. Alright. We're just going to go in for the Inferno Dragon again. That's a great play for us. And then we can go guards directly on the Fisherman, so then the Pekka doesn't kill us. And yeah, I mean, Inferno Dragon is super good in this challenge. If you are matching into a similar deck, you can just throw evolved Pekkas and watch them get raged up and watch them out-heal everything. So, yeah, a little bit broken. The Pekka is not going to die, and he's going to cry. So, GG. Very, very, very free win. Our Pekka does way more damage than it should. It's raged up, and you're going to beat other Pekka decks. The deck that I built is better than all the other Pekka decks. Let's be honest, there's no way they're going to beat a Inferno Dragon guards. It's just not happening. Like, and if they have Electric Dragon, you lightning it. Wow, amazing. So it's a brain rot strategy. You will lose, I guess, if you don't play perfectly here. Like, I just want to rewatch that really quick. I do think that the misplay was relying on the Inferno Dragon, and then he got more damage on the 3-crown than he should have. But yeah, I played pretty well with the Inferno Dragon, like, on the balloon. I wanted to drop it a little bit later, so that it would target the balloon. And that was pretty good, but, like, watch. Usually the Inferno Dragon's fine here, but the thing... Watch how pitiful this was. Bruh, it stays alive at a sliver of health, all because it gets raged up, and then the Inferno Dragon runs away. Like, that's crazy. The damage that he got on the 3-crown... Man, that's just unlucky. That's just unlucky. That's just unlucky. Like, I don't even know what to say. Like, in all my testing, I never encountered something like that. But, you know, it is a new game mode, so it's something that I learned. If you guys don't want that to happen, like, it's Clash Royale. It'd be that way. I think I played pretty well here, like, point to the other side. But the damage that he had on the 3-crown, getting us to 2,300 when we don't have a building or any, like, distractions, we're kind of cooked after that. So, that's one of the downsides of running a beatdown deck like this one. It definitely is good. But there's some sketchy situations that would never happen when you're running the spawner deck or the other deck that I'm going to show. You won't get those positions ever. So it is what it is. It'd be that way. I do feel really comfortable cycling the Pekka in the back. Reason is we have Inferno Dragon, we have guards, so I'm okay with that. Are you married yet? No. Not even close. Oh my gosh. My guy's like, yo, Jake, are you speedrunning life? And the answer is nah. Wait, we didn't psych... we don't have the correct tower. Wow, it copies the Princess Tower. That's kind of scuffed. I don't know why it has the Princess Tower. Yeah, that's really bad. So, we don't have the correct tower. It's kind of bad for us if we don't have the right tower. Because, like, how are we supposed to get value here? He's going to get the overpowered tower value. Also, I love the fact that he's running Dark Goblin. It's not great in decks that, you know, don't necessarily have other bait cards. So if he has Skeleton Barrel, then sure, that makes sense. But like if you're running a really crazy deck that doesn't have Skeleton Barrel, you're kind of playing the deck wrong. So this might be our last game with this deck. I should have probably played it with the correct tower, but it is what it is. You guys definitely know that it is nerfing the deck that I am running because I'm running Princess instead of running the Pancake Tower. Pancake Tower is always better here. The Goblin Giant is about to hit half health, so it's going to get a lot of value. The fact that he has Ice Wizard and Guards makes me feel like, okay, I'm sure you have a good deck. It's not a bad strategy. I respect it. I respect it. Hunter is definitely going to do work here. I'm going to have to go Guards a little bit early, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Ram Rider is going to hurt me, but I mean, honestly, it's not really about the Ram Rider damage in this matchup. It's all about like the big push, parade push, and that I said push twice. You know, that's how much you guys got to know that I emphasize parade push. So he's going to go Dark Goblin. I don't even care about that, to be honest. He'll do a lot of damage, but it's not de-evolution, and I feel pretty comfortable. I can cycle the Inferno Dragon with this. I can go Goblin Giant. Probably just going to do both, and then lightning him. It's going to hit double elixirs, so it's going to be really nice. I don't know what else to say. This is going to be funny. He will definitely Electro Dragon, so I'm going to lightning that when he does. And yeah, we didn't waste any time on that. Like, you know what? Let's just lightning. We can go Rune Giant, Goblin Giant other side, or with the Inferno Dragon guaranteeing the win there. So I'm just going to go into him, actually. I usually wouldn't, but in this particular position, I feel kind of comfortable doing this. And he's going to lose the Pekka, and then he's going to lose the game. So this game is over. I'm sure you guys witnessed what happened there. All we had to do was lightning the Electro Dragon, and he lost the game, and it wasn't even close. The Goblin Giant is pretty broken, as you guys can see. Yeah, it's not very fair. Inferno Dragon's great against Pekka. Hunter's really good against Pekka. Guards are really good against Pekka. And if you remove their Electro Dragon evolution, they can't reset the Inferno Dragon, and then you're going to win the game. You just log on Dark Goblins. Oops, I went into another game by reflex with the nerfed version of the deck. I forgot. I should be running the Pancake Tower. But you know what? It's so easy that it doesn't even matter. Wait, this guy knows. He understands the strategies. Oh, no. Guys, we might have a contender here. If he's running the Cannon Card deck and we're playing against him, I am actually going to crash out. That means that I'm playing against one of you. That would be so bad because I just showed it. Okay, thankfully he's not. Yeah, he's running the bad version of the deck. We're fine. I was so scared for a second. I was actually scared. If we were running against the Cannon Card deck, I would not have wanted to play this game. Because it's definitely better than this deck. This deck that we're playing right now, it's not as good as the Cannon Card deck. It's not even close. I have to be 100% honest with you guys. Like, this deck is good, and it will get you the 10 wins, because most people are not subscribed to my channel playing this challenge. Like, the majority of people do not have that buff. Most people are literally just running suboptimal strategies that are just bad. Or, like, mid strategies that are not, like, you know, thought of to the degree that we did. Because that's just the average player base. There's no hate there. It's just, it's a fact, you know. So we could go in for like a lightning on this, and that's definitely good. Moving the Furnace is awesome, but as you can see, the Furnace is frustrating to play into. This is not a fun strategy to match into. So imagine if he had a better version of the deck. Imagine if the dude had like Cannon Card instead of a Valkyrie. The Valkyrie does nothing. Like, it's just the trash card here. If you're running Valkyrie or Knight, you're just like nerfing yourself like I was with the wrong tower. So I don't know, like the Spear Goblins are maybe going to be able to kill this, but if not, then we're just going to log and kill the Dark Goblin so we don't lose the game. We now kind of have to like play tug of war with this dude, and hopefully he doesn't tug a little bit too hard. All right, we're going to go for our guards here. We should be good. Yeah, the only saving grace here is the fact that the guy does not have Cannon Card. Because if he had Cannon Card, I actually just think we lose. The one benefit of playing against Cannon Card, the only good thing, is if you one-shot the Cannon Card with like a Pekka evolution that's over-leveled, then the Cannon Card doesn't get the buff. So if it goes directly into building form, it actually does not get the buff. So just keep that in mind. There is one small saving thing in this like circus that we call Clash Royale here. I don't know why you would run Goblin Giant. That's actually, or sorry, Giant Skeleton. That's a trash card in this thing. Because everyone's running Pekka, so Pekka kind of counters Goblin Giant, the Giant Skeleton. Like it hard counters Giant Skeleton. Because it does a lot more damage, and then the Pekka just doesn't take damage from the Giant Skeleton bomb. So as you can see, like you will complete the challenge with this deck. You will get it. Like I am literally not even using the optimal version. I do not level up my stuff. I'm running the Princess Tower, and it's so easy, even with the suboptimal version of the deck. I'm surprised I lost that one game, but I guess it happens. You know, sometimes you get cooked, and especially when you're not running the chef. So this is the optimal version of this deck. Definitely take a look, check it out. You know, you'll have a good success story with this deck, 100%. So, copy this deck. Really, really recommend if you like Pekka and Goblin Giant. Obviously, I don't think it's as good as the other two decks, but all right, this is a fun one. This is a fun one. That's if you like Goblin Giant and Pekka, because as you saw, as the Pekka gets raged up, there's really not much they can do to remove it. So especially if it's behind a Goblin Giant, it's just broken. All right, so the spawner deck again, I do think this is the best one, but here's a fun one, guys. All right, you ready for some saucy stuff? This is fun. This is fun and crazy and not fun to play against. So the reason why it's fun is you can spam elixir collectors, and the elixir collector gives you value because it gets raged up at half HP. The opponent arrows or zaps on the elixir collector, because a lot of times they're not going to have lightning. Guess what? You have all these bait cards, and they're going to get pretty annoyed. Then you have the Rune Giant to tank for your cannon carts and your dark goblins, and your skeleton barrel, when it reaches half HP, it just goes straight towards the tower. It launches itself towards the tower. So it's really fun to play. Skeleton's evolution against Pekkas, Electro Spirits, really fast cycle. Log against other Dark Goblins, spawners, whatever. It's nice to have that pushback. So basically, Dark Goblin spam, it's broken. You can run Hunter here instead of Cannon Cart. I was actually playing Hunter before, but I just made the last minute change right now, like pretty much before I went live with the Cannon Cart, just because I do think that Cannon Cart is probably the best card in this challenge, based off of what I've seen. I mean, Hunter probably works a little bit better with the Rune Giant, but Cannon Cart also works with Rune Giant. I've seen top 100 decks in regular Clash Royale ladder using Cannon Cart over Rune Giant. So I'm like, you know what? In this stupid meta where we are spamming everything that's raged up, I rather run the card that gets perma-raged up compared to Hunter. So just going to throw that out there for you guys. Watch the skeleton barrel, by the way. Just notice how strong this thing is. A little bit derpy, but that's the way we like it. We're running two cards that are going to get evolved. We're going to throw down the skeletons and also the Dark Goblin. We're going to Electro Spirit here and try to get to a reasonable spot for us to go for an Elixir Collector. I don't have any other anti-air, and he probably will balloon me, so this is not going to be great. I'm going to go in for the cannon card directly into him. A little bit risky to do, honestly. I'm not a huge fan of that. I don't think that was good. So I can't really do much here. I'm just going to let the cannon card do its thing against the Pekka. Maybe we can go for a Dark Goblin off to the side to start damaging it down if we're lucky. Really, really cool if we could just get more damage on it. Maybe we can go for a skeleton so we can distract this a little bit. The Dagger Duchess should kill the rage thing. All right, cool. Nice. That was really good. That worked a lot better than I thought. We're going to go for an Electro Spirit. Wow, Dark Goblin is a speedy sir. Okay, never mind. Didn't think that would happen. All right, so now we're in a pretty problematic position. Even if we log... Ooh, never mind. We stopped it. We stopped it. All right, all right, all right. Let's see, let's see, let's see. I feel like Surgical Goblin after how many letsies I said. Maybe that was his old thing. I'm not sure. Anyway, let's see how much damage it does. How much damage do 3 shots do to your tower? Probably a ton, right? All right, so our strat here is to obviously split up the skeletons, and then we'll see what we can do. So I want to go like this, and then throw down the cannon cart with the Rune Giant, obviously, and just get the value. See how this goes. It's going to be tough for him to defend. The 2 skeletons are fun, but I don't know. I just don't know how it's going to go. We'll see. How much damage does it do to the Pekka? And it's raged up too, which is really cool. That's nice. All right, so we should be able to pull this the other side with the Rune Giant. And then this is a much harder deck to play, by the way. I wouldn't recommend this unless you have good mechanics. The other deck, the spawner deck, is easy. This is the deck that I would not recommend for any of you guys. If you don't know how to play the game at a high level, do not play this deck. If you have played at Ultimate Champion or whatever, and you just want a fun deck to clobber people, this is really fun. But you have to understand placements. You have to understand kiting. You also have to understand how to like cycle elixir collectors and not drop it at the wrong time and die to spam. So this is a harder deck. I'm just saying, if you guys want to have fun, this is a really, really fun deck to play. Because you're constantly spamming at all points in time, and the opponents can't keep up with you. And especially if they're running Pekka decks, and then they just like lose track of like their spells, and they throw their spells on the elixir collector. It's so funny. Like, I burst out laughing when I was testing this deck because the opponents didn't even know like what was happening. They saw the elixir collector and they just threw their like arrows at it. And then they dropped a Dark Goblin. They just died. It was so funny. I don't know if I still have the game. Where was it? Oh, where was it? I really want to see if I still have it. Dude, I want to see if I still have it. Oh no. It was probably this guy. All right, I'm just going to show you guys something really funny. This was probably the most comical moment of all of the testing that I had. Oh, it was glorious. So, like, obviously, if you stack up cannon carts, right? Like, witness how this thing gets raged up and then it just kills everything. Like, it's just so broken. You just spam cannon carts and mirror it, and it doesn't matter if he arrows is that. Because then he has to deal with another cannon cart, and the other cannon cart's protecting it, and then of course it's raged and it gets near the tower. And if that locked onto the tower, the game was over, by the way. So it's kind of funny that didn't work out. This was fun. This was it was actually the most historic moment of Clash Royale, right here. This was the worst sap I've ever seen in my life, and I felt so bad for him. But I laughed. I could not stop laughing. I actually could not stop laughing. Look at that. Look at the Dark Goblin. Look at that. He's lost 2,000. He literally lost the game to a half health Dark Goblin. That's insane. Like, I'm just telling you all straight up, that other deck, spawners, broken. Unbelievably broken. Unbelievably. Anyway, yeah, this deck we'll play a couple more games with. We'll go back to the spawner one. You guys let me know down below in the comment section what deck you like the most. Yeah, it's fun. If I want to run Elixir Collector, what can I use? You use the 3 decks that I'm showing. You pick one of them and play it, and you don't have to think. More than like learning how to play the deck. Don't try to build your own deck unless you're trying to have fun with it. Obviously, you can have fun with it. And you can build your own decks. But at the same time, like, I wouldn't recommend building your own deck if you want to win guaranteed first try with, you know, not testing out the strategies. It takes a lot of time, and I did all the work for you, is what I'm trying to say. I mean, obviously, you can have fun and test out stuff. I wouldn't recommend it. So we're going to Elixir Collector and then go Cannon Cart here, and then we should be good. I mean, I think I can just go Dark Goblin and be okay. It's going to lock onto the wrong thing, so it's just going to hit the Cannon Cart, and the Cannon Cart's about to hit half HP, and then it just kills the, it kills us, so we're fine. The only downside about this is, like, it's not exactly 100% easy to kill Goblin Giants behind a Rune Giant, but you have to understand that the counter-pushing stuff for you is going to be more valuable. So it's a good vibe. It's a good vibe. It's a good vibe for sure. Collector Spirit far enough away so the Hunter doesn't hit. We're going to Elixir Collector. We're in a great spot. We have Evolved Skeletons. We have Evolved Dark Goblin. If you Lightnings, that's understandable. I would have run Lightning in my deck as well. I don't know why he's BMing me. Or maybe he's scared. He's probably scared, honestly. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. We go Cannon Cart early so we can get back to another one. And then we're going to go in for the Rune Giant. And then we're going to grab our Evolved Skeletons. And we're going to go Skeleton Barrel here. And we're trying to get back to another Cannon Cart if we can. That would be really cool. Don't know if it's possible. Yeah, we're back to it. That's nice. Alright, let's go for our Dark Goblin here. See how this goes. I mean, this could be really hard for him to defend. Like, actually, practically impossible. If the Skeleton region, you just lose this. Yeah, you lost on both sides. This wasn't even close. Ah, amazing. So yeah, if you play this deck, like, and you have good split lane mechanisms, and you understand, like, the concept of, you know, managing your elixir really well, like, you won't be afraid when you lose a tower because you know you're going to win. But ultimately, like, this is a very fun deck to play, but the skill level, like, increased dramatically. So the order of how I showcased the decks today were easiest to hardest. Yeah, I mean, any of these decks would get the 10 win, though. Any of them. So yeah, I'm not going to show this deck anymore. I do think that this is, like, probably the most fun one for me to play, but it's not really going to show you guys how to win it if you wouldn't be able to get it with the other decks, you know? So yeah, we'll go back to this one because I think that, again, this is the best one. I'd recommend this for everyone, but we'll get the last few wins with it just to prove. Anyway, also Dagger Duchess with this. It's just nice to have that reliable way of killing bait cards that are flown at you. So it's nice. Yeah, we'll jump right into it. This challenge is lame. I mean, you're entitled to your own opinion. I love it. I really, really like this challenge. I do think at the same time, some challenges click with some people and other challenges click with others. Sometimes I don't really like the dragon in the middle challenge or like the egg thing in the middle. Like, I hate those. For whatever reason, I just never get the spawn. It just, like, when I drop cards, my opponent drops them, like, with better cards. Like, their cards and their, like, card order will be better, and they'll drop a Pekka directly on the egg, and then they'll just get the hatching. And it's really annoying, because, like, I would want to win, but a lot of times I just don't get the thing in the middle. And I don't know. I dislike those a lot. And sometimes the thing in the middle doesn't even have an impact. But this challenge, for me, the rage always has an impact. And I think that the better player wins in this challenge most of the time. And the game that I did lose, like, you know, it was an understandable loss, and I'll improve from that in the future. Like, I'll know, like, oh, okay, like the balloon will actually run away from the Inferno Dragon. I didn't really realize that because, you know, that wasn't an interaction that I had to worry about before. Anyway, been going for a furnace here. We've got the cannon cart, and if he logs that, well, guess what? The cannon cart's still alive, so you're going to lose the game, bro. Pretty easy because they probably won't have many spells since they can't fit Rage in their deck with any of their decks because it's not possible. Rage is not allowed since everything is Rage permanently, so you can't double Rage. So that's the reason why a lot of people won't have that many spells. The Dark Goblin, Wall Breakers, that stuff is really strong. We're going to go Wall Breakers here. We have the Furnace still, and then we're going to go for another Goblin Hut. I mean, the reason why this deck is the easiest of them all is it practically plays... Well, it does play itself. It literally does play itself. That's the reason. Just want to be transparent with y'all. It is very, very simple. You don't want to stack up Guards and Dark Goblin, though. Like, one thing to keep in mind is like, oh, my opponent probably has a small spell. If they have small spell, I cycle things away from that. I'm not going to give them value. It's me communicating my small, stupid brain to you guys. Like, it's 2 a.m. My brain is not firing on all cylinders, so I will talk like the Hulk. Even though I'm the skinniest person alive, you know, let me think that I'm a Hulk once, please. Tell me I'm strong, guys. All right, we're gonna go cannon cart here. We're gonna try to get a Dark Goblin down. Also, my friends recently were telling me that I'm like the skinniest person they know that has no muscle. I'm like, that's great, that's awesome. But my friends love roasting me. Is basically what I'm trying to tell you guys. So. It is what it is. Maybe one day. It's motivation for me to get a little bit more muscle. Anyway, Royal Hogs are a bit annoying. Still not that bad for us. I just cycle cannon carts and win, so I'm not that pressed right now. The only downside is we're going to take a lot of damage from that Fly Machine. The guy's playing pretty well. He's not a bad player. Do you have any way to kill these Goblin Huts? Not really. So we'll just mirror up the Goblin Hut for the fun of it. Yeah, we'll focus a little bit more in this game. I do think that it should have been a win. I shouldn't have lost the tower, so it's a little bit of a mess up on our end. But maybe what it be. It's part of the game sometimes. Sometimes you don't play your best. At least you guys get to see more spawners in action, right? You know? At least y'all get to witness the greatness of the spawner charades. Spawner shenanigans, if you will. Dark Goblin off to the side. Now we're going to go Wall Breakers in the middle because he doesn't have a way of killing us, and he is cooked. He is sufficiently cooked, my dudes. He is sufficiently cooked. All right, yeah, I mean, we've got Furnace, Dark Goblin, and a cannon cart that you have to get at half HP and then die to. Imagine a universe where you are literally forced to, like, kill yourself with the cannon cart. That is not fun. He literally had to, like, have his own demise there. Like, you can't stop the cannon cart at half HP. It's just not a thing that happens. There's a few things that are certain in life. Taxes, death, and a cannon cart locking onto your tower at half health because the thing always gets raged up and it's literally unstoppable. So yeah, let's get the last game with this deck, and I'm going to show the deck one more time in case you guys haven't already copied it. Would really, really recommend. And if you are losing in the event tab with this challenge, it's okay. Play the deck, look at what I did, and you will not lose. Like, literally go through the decisions that I made at the very start for the first 2 games and just mirror up cannon carts for the most part. Why are your spawners still at level 14? I just haven't played them because they're not really usable in regular Clash Royale. But that's the cool thing about these challenges and these game modes. Sometimes it brings to life cards that just aren't playable in regular game modes, you know? Like Goblin Hut is one of the worst cards in regular game modes because it only gives 1 Spear Goblin after the hut dies. So it's like not necessarily that good. So I would never really recommend. Wait, why does it always... You know, there is a glitch here. It consistently throws back to Princess Tower for this deck. I don't understand why, but like I have to change my deck to have the correct tower after every match. It's really triggering. I'm not going to lie. I wish it would just let me use the Dagger Duchess at all times and then not have to switch back and forth. That is definitely a glitch. I'm not doing that unless... Are my eyes deceiving me? Can you guys let me know? Oh, this guy is running... He's a princess, sir. That makes sense. That makes sense. No, I respect the strats. I respect the strats. I don't think that princess is that goated, though. She is not that goated at all. You're gonna die. She's gonna die today. Oh my gosh. Sweet baby Kyle. What are you doing, dude? What are you doing? What are these shenanigans? Alright, well, I mean, the Pekka is gonna maybe get a hit on my cannon cart because it is raged up. Okay, never mind. That wasn't even close. The furnace is just dogpiling on his tower. That's insane. Like, what the heck? Like, this should not be a thing. All right, so we're not going to arrows because All right. Well, arrows. I was considering it. I was just gonna say like we would be down a bit of elixir if we did. Okay. Thank goodness. Thank you, buddy. I don't know why you did that to yourself. I don't understand. I don't understand at all. Oh, by the way, one of the funniest things I did, I called one of my friends Buddy as a joke, and it stuck. And now his name is Buddy in our friend group. Everyone just like calls him Buddy. He hates me now. He's like, Jake, I hate you. I hate everything. This is not my life. This is not my existence. But it really is. He is Buddy. That is his new lifestyle. All right, we're gonna go wall breakers to pull that back. Where did the Pekka go, bro? Where's that? What was the Pekka doing? What's the dog doing? All right, we're gonna go Goblin Hut here, and this is gonna be a fun game. I'm gonna try to like finesse him a little bit harder, because you know, even if we're playing against Elixir Collector, the cost efficiency that we have with our cards just makes up for it. Because you're not breaking through. If you have a Pekka and that's the way that you want to win, how are you expecting to break through a Dark Goblin cannon card? Like, legitimately, it just isn't possible unless I'm trash at the game, you know, and I'm not. I'm not that bad, bro. I'm not that guy. I'm just gonna go with cycle cannon cards, and you're not gonna break through. It's actually just that good. Imagine a universe where you have a cannon card and your opponent has a Pekka. Yeah, this is a fun time. We're going to go in for guards. He has like other support cards that do splash damage like Wizard, and he had a huge elixir advantage, and he had Princess, and it didn't matter. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy these decks. Make sure to drop a like on the video if these decks helped you out. I spent a lot of time crafting them, and I did this at 2 a.m. So yeah, definitely leave a like and support the channel. Love you guys. Make sure to just have an awesome rest of your week, or you know what it is, man. The days blend together. It is 3 a.m., so I lost a lot of my brain cells. I guess rest of your week is fine because you know it is Friday. I love you guys, and yeah, good luck in the challenge. Definitely make sure to check out the pinned comment if you guys haven't already seen one of my recent videos on, what was it? It was a really fun one that I recently had. I forgot. We'll take a quick gander at it. Yeah, it was the Elixir Golem deck with Royal Recruits. That one was fun, but I do think the one that you guys would likely like the most is the Dark Goblin deck. That was the one I was thinking about. I was like, what was the Mimi deck that I made? But yeah, I have a Dark Goblin cycle deck that was hilarious. I played this, and I tried to level up my Dark Goblin as much as I could, and I played it with like other cards to buff it. So I had Rune Giant, I had the Dark Goblin. I ended up spamming Dark Goblins and tried to win with it as a win condition. So some of the games didn't go so great. Like, I got wrecked by crazy stuff, but hey, I had a lot of fun doing it. So if you guys want to check out a Mimi video where I tried, you know, Dark Goblin Rune Giant, check that out in the pinned comment. I'm sure you guys would love it. I'm not going to show the Elixir Golem one because, you know, that one's like not as fun as the other one. I was thinking, like, what was the most fun video recently? And the Dark Goblin one takes the cake. I'm also going to have another video in the morning. So I'm streaming twice today and a video. So, you know, I'm committed to making the best content I can for you guys. And yeah, hopefully you guys can see that 2025 is going to be our year. And the content's going to get only better from here. I have a lot of plans with Pokemon and Clash Royale. And I just want to say thank you guys for all the support that I've been having recently, because it's motivating. And yeah, I'm trying to get to the next level in my progress. I'm not really comparing myself to other people. I just want to feel like I'm doing better than I was last year. I want to be better at diversifying my content and doing more. So thank you guys for being here. I love you no matter when or where you guys are watching. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Like the video if you enjoyed. Subscribe for more content. And if you want to see more decks in these challenges, I'll always have them. Check out the pinned comment for that Dark Goblin meme cycle. And let me know down below in the comment section if there's things that you would want me to do in the future to improve these type of videos. And also things in general, like what you want to see for future, you know? And let me know what deck worked for you the best. Love you guys. Hopefully the options were better. Ooh, the one thing I want to know, do you like the multiple decks? Or do you like just one deck and just leave it? Like, did you want me to just play this Dark Goblin spawner deck the entire time? Or did you want me to show you different options? That's a question that I would like answered in the comment section. Anyway, peace out. Love you guys.